Hello everyone and welcome to another Hubnut video. It's time to say goodbye to the Ssangyong Rodius, but before we do, just a quick mention, we have some new merch which is very fitting. But pleased to report our final road trip in the Rodius was not a it went Hubnut moment. It performed admirably, but today we need to set about getting it clean, getting it tidy for the new owner, because we're still very much in van mode at the moment. So yeah, it's a mess, there's rubbish, we need to hoover out, we need to give it a good clean, and then we can put the rear seat back in. Desmond, the Perodua Canary, passed, well, he didn't pass, little Miss Hubnut passed her driving test in this car last week. We are very happy about that. She had a quick razz around in the Panda for a few days, but all this van mode was because she is now at university, so slightly scary, but we've just sent her off into the world. Yeah, she's settling in, all good. But the Panda is staying with us because there isn't really anywhere to park it at the uni. The parking is quite restricted. So she got to drive for a few days and had a lot of fun doing so, sending her off on her own. And she, you know, she's like, we need milk. Who could get milk? I'll go. And off she goes. That initial burst of excitement has been dealt with. So when she comes home during holidays, we'll do some temporary insurance. Sorry, ignore the work going on in the background. We'll do some temporary insurance so she can have a drive round in her little Panda. But otherwise, what I need to be doing is getting this car done, and I need to start putting this back together again. We need this back on the road really, and then tomorrow I'm going to look at another car. Yeah, because I need that. I think I'm probably not going to refit this engine cover, but I will obviously put it in the vehicle. It's missing too many of the bolts, I think. So I don't think we've got enough ways of actually securing it. So it was kind of flapping around anyway. So it's just a bit of extra sound deadening. There's a bit of a mat in there. Frankly, it doesn't make a great lot of difference. It is what it is. It's a fairly agricultural 5-cylinder engine. But yeah, let's start by clearing it out, and then we'll give her a wash. Let's move the electrics out of the way. That needs to go with the car. That's the engine cover. Yep, we can put that on there. That should fit. Now we need to get the rear seat back in. Let's move the oil out of the way. Oh yeah, before we get into this, you're a bit behind. So last week, Giles, West Wales mobile mechanic, came and gave it an oil service. So we did the oil filter, air filter, which wasn't too bad. Cabin filters, disgusting. Ugh. He didn't do the diesel filter because it turns out that Mark Lariche, or Larich, I don't know how you meant to pronounce it, he seems to be the UK expert on Sangyongs and can get all the bits. He didn't have a diesel filter in stock, so the diesel filter still needs doing. This is more mental notes for the new owner really, if he's going to watch this back. So don't forget, the central locking doesn't work on the passenger door, the rear passenger door on this side. Which is why when you hit 30 miles an hour it goes ka-dunk, 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 because it's trying to lock that door and it can't. We've got the diff pushes, and that's about it really. The passenger washer isn't working, but the driver's washer sprays enough all over the windscreen anyway. I think that's probably about it. So stuff to be getting on with, but nothing major. Or he might just flip it. I mean, I think that's what I'd do. If I won this for £10, he bought 10 tickets in the raffle, I think I'd just immediately go, well, that's cash, and I'd cash it in. So if he decides to do that and announces it, we'll let you know. But obviously we went on the uni trip and we did record a bit of driving just before we went. Miss Hubnut had a familiarisation drive on the Friday, and then on the Saturday, the day itself, I recorded a little bit of footage. So we're having our final long distance journey in the Ssangyong Rodius today. We haven't got microphones, weren't planning to record necessarily, but Miss Hubnut is driving the Rodius.
I am indeed, and I've been driving the Rodius for a little minute. We took it out for a little spin yesterday just to see how I would get on with it, and so here I am driving it, and I feel quite proud of myself because this thing is ginormous.
It is a size. It is quite big, and now over 89,000 miles on the clock.
And initially I was concerned about visibility on it, but actually, despite the windscreen being very rear windscreen window being very small,
Yeah, we are full of university van mode
Yeah.
today.
it's actually quite effective with the mirrors as well. So I was concerned initially you would have huge blind spots down either side, but that's not actually the case. It's not the most exciting thing to drive. It's quite fun when you can react and put your foot on the accelerator slowly. It reacts then, but if you're in a situation where you just need to floor it, it's not there.
Bit laggy.
It's very, very laggy. I mean, I drove the semi-automatic Smart, which was a little laggy. I mean, we talked about that, but this, I mean, it's kind of, you put your foot down and then the power comes the next day. But it's a pleasant enough thing. I think because you put this through a raffle, I don't think you mentioned quite how bad the wiping performance
What do you mean bad? It's good.
It's not
Good overlap, no triangle of doom.
Oh gosh, okay, the washers are terrible.
Oh, the washers are terrible because this one doesn't work.
But no, it's not just that, it's just they kind of just dribble.
Yeah, but it sprays it right by the blade.
Yeah, no.
I like them. I think it's good.
And also the other issue with the rear window is it constantly seems to be getting dirty.
Yeah.
And the switch is not in the most practical of positions, but
No.
we should be used to that with old Desmond.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's not blowing my mind. It's pleasant enough to drive. It actually is quite responsive, bearing in mind the size of it. It will corner quite nicely. It sticks to the road. I was a little concerned about that yesterday. It may have been the gale force winds and not the car
Yeah.
that were the issue.
The Ling Long tyres are helping, I think.
Oh, you got the Lingongs, haven't
Got the
you?
Ling Longs.
But yeah, it sticks quite confidently to the road. It's very comfortable. It's got lots of seat adjustments, which are great if you're a person of restricted growth like myself.
Yep.
But yeah, it's not blowing my mind. It's a car that we wanted to own. We've owned it. We've used it in the way it's intended. And now it's time to send it off on its new adventures, I think.
Yeah, and they'll be heading off later this week.
So what we're going to get next?
Ooh, who knows? Who knows? Some very interesting vehicles about.
Oh, there are.
Right, we're going to carry on our way to university,
Via
listening
McDonald's.
to Men at Work at the moment, down under. So we're heading back home, minus one hublet, and the weather's awful. Storm Amy. It's been an entertaining drive all day, really. 50-mile-an-hour winds this morning, now still gusty and terrifying amounts of rain. Great. Well, I ballsed that up and seem to have not actually shown you how to do that, but I did lift it in. I need to move this seat forward. I need to move this seat forward. I need to move this engine cover that I put in the back because I thought it would be out of the way. It's now wedged in. There we are. And now should be able to lock this in. There we go. And then it'll come back as far as you want it, but that's probably it, I guess. For the fullness, we will pull the back seat up, but I'll probably fold that down again because, to be honest, when you're driving along, it's a lot easier to have that folded. It gives more rear vision. But there we are, the bench is back in. It is quite hefty, but I can lift it on my own, so that's good. So that is the seat as far back as it'll go, as far this way, and still got a decent boot space, and plenty of leg room here, and pretty decent leg room there. So there's the engine cover, that can sit there, but good to go again. But yeah, I think I will fold this down because these head restraints just obliterate your rear view, whereas if we do that, you got a much clearer view out the back. Right then, I just need to get the covers that go over the runners, and then I can shut the boot and start giving it a clean, and maybe try and get into these shut areas of it. It tells you something about the trees back home, doesn't it? They just drop these bloody leaves or spindly bits of whatever they are all over the place. Absolute pain. Of course, it's when you go to clean the outside you realise just how blooming enormous this thing is. I mean, it's like cleaning a full-blown 4x4. You try and reach the roof as best you can. Well, there's actually lichen growing on the roof because it was parked up for so long. Bits, sort of mould and sap from when it sat unused for the best part of, well, quite a few years really. You look at the MOT history. That's because the original people, the hubnuts as I bought it off, just couldn't bear to part with it really. But in the end, they kind of realised they had to. They couldn't acquire more vehicles without making more space. Feels familiar. So it finally had to go. They'd owned it from almost new. 18 years I think they'd had it. But yeah, it literally went to an MOT and then didn't move again until I tried driving it all the way back to Wales from Essex. So you haven't seen that video yet, because we did that journey with no working alternator. It was an entertaining watch. And we met Nino, not economically viable, along the way as well. It was a jolly good adventure, albeit a bit nerve-wracking. It's one of those where you look back on it fondly, but at the time you were absolutely cacking your pants. When we were on the M6 motorway with no charge, and it started storming and I needed lights and wipers, it was not a good feeling. Well, look at that, doesn't she look good? There we go. So the Ssangyong Rodius, he's ready to go. In a couple of days' time, Brian is coming to take you away. You've served us well. Served us really well really, because we've done about 2,600 miles since purchase. So for a car that sat and did nothing for several years, I think it's done all right. It's been magnificent. So I'm very glad to have had this opportunity. It's a huge thanks to the family who sold me this car for £500 back in August, was it? Yeah, I've been very grateful. We've had a lovely time with it. We've done our raffle. We've managed to raise a bit of money for me. We've raised a bit of money for the Little Princess Trust. So it's all good. And I'm already plotting what's going to be next. Maybe something that doesn't cost £430 a year to tax. It is now Tuesday and I've got more car washing to do. And it's all Storm Amy's fault. So over the weekend, Panda and the Ssangyong Rodius were outside. So yesterday's cleaning was not just to smarten the Rodius up for sale. That's quite important to do. But we also need to go over this car because, yeah, the salt just blew in from the sea. And you can't really see, but it's all over the windows. It is, yeah, it's mucky. And it's all salt, so that's not good. These cars have a pretty good reputation for rust, but let's not tempt it. These dents were already on the car when it came to us. They are nothing to do with little Miss Hubnut's driving. She had a quick drive around in the Panda last week, very much enjoyed it, but she's now safely installed at university, so exciting times. So we'll give this one a wash. Might even wash the Canary Desmond while we're at it, because why not? So you may be thinking to yourselves, well, this is not really the tinkering content I was hoping for, but this is kind of what's going on at the moment. I do hope in this video, in the very near future, to get on the Daihatsu. I actually want to do that today. I've got to start bolting it back together. But in all honesty, I'm still having issues with my tinkering because well, I'm not very good at it, and eventually you get a bit fed up with having to constantly try and rectify your own mistakes and find stuff that you knew was there 5 seconds ago, but you've gone and put it somewhere else and you can't remember where because you were working on the car months ago and nothing now makes any sort of sense. So that's why the Daihatsu has not progressed. That and the fact we have been exceptionally busy. The driving tests and lessons ate up an incredible amount of time, dedicated literally hours to teaching little Miss Hubnut to drive. A very different case compared to to teaching Miss Hubnut to drive, because Miss Hubnut had some driving experience, whereas little Miss Hubnut was starting from scratch. So it's a challenge, and trying to work out between us exactly what you need to do to pass your driving test really difficult. Things like roundabouts, trying to get the judgment right, very, very difficult. That was the problem. It wasn't a first time pass, and the problem was roundabouts. Just getting your judgment right. What's too gung-ho and what's hesitation. So, but we got there between us. She did a great job, and she passed with just 3 minors, which is good going. That's better than I managed. I was 5 minors. I can't remember what her mother did, but I'm sure it's been discussed at some point. But yeah, we'll give little Miss Hubnut's car a clean, and then we'll put the little Panda away again, because it's kind of overdue a timing belt, and not just that, the clutch, the thrust bearing, not entirely happy. Unrelated to learning to drive, because this wasn't the steed for that. We used the little Piaggio Canari over there instead. But yeah, that's a lot of expense, I think, clutch, and it could do with the timing belt. But I'm tempted to just avoid for the time being, because it's not like this car is really needed. So I'm just going to continue using it sparingly. It'll come out every now and then, cover a few miles, probably not when the salt's down, and otherwise it's just going to wait for little Miss Hubnut, and that's fine. She's got university to focus on, and when she comes over at Christmas, if the weather's not too bad, we'll get the Panda out. We'll temporarily insure her on it again. That wasn't too bad. We did that through Vago. This is not sponsored, but it was like 30 quid for 3 days insurance, which for someone who has literally just passed their test, I didn't think it was too bad. £10 a day. It's because we've already got the car insured elsewhere for us. So all they're doing is insuring the extra risk of having that younger driver. So it works well. Right, I'm going to keep scrubbing. Come back to you when I'm done. Right, I'm going to say something a bit controversial now, and that's that when it comes to driving this pair of cars here, I actually prefer driving the Piaggio, you know. I don't know what that says about progress, but I'd rather drive what is clearly a 1990s car over there compared to the Panda. But the Panda generates an amazing amount of tyre noise, and is quite bouncy in ride, I find, as well. Whether we actually need to replace something in the suspension, I've no idea. But I mean, the Canari's not exactly refined, but overall I just prefer driving it. It's got much more low down grunt. I mean, neither car is powerful, but the Panda, you really have to go revving it. You've got to go up the upper echelons of the rev range to maintain progress. On hills, you're often having to double downshift from 5th down to 3rd just to keep your momentum up. And it's not so forgiving either. Little Miss Hubnut has had some stalling moments because we've been off and done motorway. We've been on quite a jaunt in the Panda, and she was finding she was stalling it because, I mean, the Canari, you can almost pull away in 3rd gear. It's ludicrously well behaved at low revs, and the Panda just won't put up with that. It's the correct gear, or you're not going anywhere. So they are quite different to drive. I will say the engine is a lot quieter in the Fiat. In fact, it's an actual struggle to hear it, which is why we didn't do the driving tuition in it, because you need the oral clues as to what's going on. There's no rev counter. Again, the Canari wins there. It has a rev counter. It's well posh. Let's pick some bits of trim out of here. Bits of leaf, rather. It's bloody finned trees, or whatever they are. Anyway, there we go. That's looking a lot better. Lovely. Let it dry off and go and do the Canari. Do you really think I was going to change the bucket of water? Come on, this is Hubnut. Well, there we are. That's quite a lot of scrubbing and cleaning, and Panda's looking lovely, and so is little Desmond. Much needed. I could do with something a bit more aggressive though, because you can see there's these black spots all over the roof. I think a lot of them have come off actually. So I'm planning to give both cars a bit of a buff with some, it's not quite your fancy ceramic coating, but it is Car Plan #1 Super Gloss. No hard rubbing or polishing, easy to apply, only takes minutes. Locks in the shine for up to a year. Intense water beading effect. I think I got it from Home Bargains or Wilko's, one of those cheapo stores. And if it feels like I'm avoiding work on the Daihatsu, then absolutely I am. And there's two reasons. One, the aforementioned, I'm not very happy with my tinkering. And two is, if the Charade comes back on the road, do we need that car? So maybe I'm just avoiding that. If that's parked up, then we definitely still need this one. Yes. Yes? Well, of course, it starts raining just as I'm starting to do that. So I've had to back the Panda in to do the polish treatment. I've done everything up to the front so far and the driver's side. So I'm going to crack on with that. Isn't she looking good for a clean? It's looking rather nice. It's not a perfect finish because it could do with a polish. There's little imperfections everywhere, but that's come up really nice. Unfortunately, I didn't get a chance to do Desmond before Desmond got soaked. Oh God, it really is pouring down. Yeah, so my plan was, I was actually going to go home in Ellie today because the weather forecast wasn't for rain. Sorry Ellie, I think you're staying here. Yeah, that's looking splendid. Well, if you've just washed a car, what don't you want to see? I'll show you. It's roads like this, absolutely covered in mud, absolutely filthy, because, you know, tractors doing tractor things. It's the countryside, they exist, but oh my days, so much mud. I'm not blaming that particular tractor, I don't think it was that one. And of course my lovely clean car is already absolutely filthy. Just look at the state of this, and I've just cleaned that car. Mildly upsetting. Oh well, it's what you get for living in the countryside, I guess. If you live in a city and you think countryside life is all happiness and roses, no it isn't. Sometimes it's just a hell of a lot of mud. Mud that I can smell burning off the exhaust. Delicious. Well, on Wednesday I've been swanning around in Betty, the Ford AU, and using Betty to collect the new owner of the Rodius. You'll note it is gone, not my Pajero Evo, very rusty, needs work, not mine. Yeah, Brian has collected it. Here is a picture of Brian. That's a fly. Horsefly, I think, don't want that biting me. Yeah, here's Brian with the Rodius, and I think he looks happy. Does he look happy? Hopefully he's happy. He's now driving all the way back to Bedfordshire with his Ssangyong Rodius. He bought 10 tickets, so £10 got him a Rodius. Yes, the digger is holding the roof on. It's been stormy again. But yeah, the Rodius is gone. It's done everything it needed to do. It provided a really exciting first video because it wasn't charging, and I had to get it back home from Essex. And then it's been really useful for us. We've been using it as a van basically, and had a few trips out in it. Somehow put 2,600 miles on it because we used it for going to the Haynes Motor Museum as well. So that was good fun, and has gone. Minimum of fuss, it's gone, and it's put some money in the pocket, which I'm sure will be used to buy something to fill this space, because I kind of rent this strip now. I've moved on from just this building. I now rent this strip here. So I can't just have it sitting there empty, can I? That'd be stupid. That'd be a stupid thing to do. So I'm looking at something else. But the rest of this week, Thursday, tomorrow, I'm off to see a specialist in electric cars, and hoping to do a myth busting video very soon. So stay tuned for that. Friday, I'm off filming the very humdrum car, and that's going to take all day just to do one car. Then Saturday I'm going to try and relax, and then Sunday I'm off on a road trip in Betty, and we're heading down to Cornwall. I've got a few cars down there to hit. I'm going to go and visit Chop's Garage on the way back. If you follow Chop's Garage on social media, you'll know exactly why I'm going to see Chop's Garage, and no, that isn't the replacement car. In fact, I should talk about that, because this week so far I've declined 3 cars. One of them was a Daihatsu Tanto that Chop's Garage has. He offered us that at the weekend for a good price. But we ummed and ahed, but we've already got one Daihatsu there. I've got a Daihatsu outside. We've got Desmond the Perodua Canary, also Daihatsu based at home. Do we really need another small Daihatsu? No, we don't. Then I was looking at a Toyota Prius, and I almost went for it, but it was quite a long way away, so it was a pain to get to. It was 1,600 quid and had done 204,000 miles. The Priuses hold their value well, with good reason, I think. I think it would have been a really interesting one to do. But when the seller started saying, oh, the car's with my mate can show it around you, I'm just like, oh, is this starting to feel a bit dubious? And it's a lot of miles, a lot of money. So I went, no, I'm not going to do that. And then I found a Nissan Leaf for £1,500. It was a really early one. I was so tempted, but the early ones have problems with the battery chemistry. They got not very good heaters, got electronic handbrakes, whereas the ones built here in Sunderland, I don't know what the American ones had, do let me know, but the ones built in Sunderland had a manual handbrake. It's a foot operated one, so it's not a handbrake, it's a parking brake, e-brake, foot operated, much better idea. But yeah, I ummed and I came very close. Literally almost went for a viewing yesterday on it, but decided no, it's not the one. So that's 3 cars I haven't bought this week. But the week isn't over yet. We'll see what else happens. But this is where I'm going to wrap this one up. So yeah, no progress with little tiddlers, I'm afraid. But the Panda is still beautifully clean. The Daihatsu is still beautifully dusty. I think we have a solution brewing for the Daihatsu to get it fixed. More on that as it happens. But yeah, the main news is that I've got a bit of space to fill. I mean, I shouldn't fill it. I should spend some money on the cars I already own and love. But you know me, so we'll see what happens. But yeah, thank you very much for watching. Don't forget, you can go to the Hubnut store and buy lovely merchandise. We've got that new design in stock now, as well as favourites like Perodua Power, Power Less is More, Tuckety Invacar, and we've even got a Betty design available, and of course Hello Happy. And I'll give you a little clue. I'm visiting the designer of that car on Friday. The designer of that design, yeah, on Friday. But otherwise, yeah, thank you for watching. We'll see you in a future video. Farewell. Oh, the Badgertronics one's starting to flake up a bit now.